Hey, hey, what's up, family? Your girl is back. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to all of you beautiful people. Peace to all of you who are already in the chat. Y'all are the real ones. I love y'all for that. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Peace, Giovanna. Peace, Michelle. Peace, Lakeisha. Let's go live on Instagram as well to show some love. We are doing live readings today. We are doing live readings today. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Like and share the video. Let's go ahead and do that now because listen, today's topic, oh, y'all just don't know. I am really excited about today's topic. I have so much good information to give y'all today. I'm grateful to bring y'all this love. I'm grateful to bring y'all this light. Let me get my journal. Let me get my journal because your girl take notes. You know, Dream, Dream actually, he goes all out for y'all. He goes all the way out for y'all. He brings the PowerPoints and all of that. And I just take notes on a sheet of paper, right? We are talking about what are your dreams really trying to tell you? What are your dreams really trying to tell you? That is what we're talking about today. I have such a gift for y'all today. I have such a gift for y'all today because I know that the information that we're going to talk about today is oh so very important. Before I jump into it, let's say hey again. Peace Giovanna, peace Michelle, Lakeisha, peace Sarah, peace Athelia. That's a pretty name. Please, Mad Titan. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. It's Friday. Your girl is feeling good. Your girl is feeling energized. But not only that, your girl is turning 30, the big 30. I am turning 30 on Friday, exactly 1 week for today. So I feel that energy. I feel that renewal. I feel that rebirth. I feel that life energy right now. So grateful. Today we're diving into what are your dreams really trying to tell you. I have really figured out and tapped into the dream space, right? I am a Pisces moon, right? I am a Pisces moon. And so dreaming for me is where I get a lot of my spiritual answers, is where I get a lot of my spiritual information. It is literally a place of power for me. I love sleeping for the fact of dreaming. So I got a lot of insight that I'm gonna give y'all today. What's up over here on Instagram? Des, the avatar. What's up? What's up, Jess for Shells Pieces? What's up, Shayla? What's up? Yeah, Libra gang, right? Yes, Divine Zoe, I am in that Saturn return energy, but you know what I'm so grateful for is that energy has absolutely been blessing my life, right? A lot of times we have these Saturn returns and we're like, oh my God, it's Saturn return. This is crazy. This is scary. It's a hard time. Oh my God, this Saturn return has been a gift to me because it has caused me to grow. It has caused me to shift. It has caused me to expand. And I am coming more fully into who I divinely am. So it has been an absolute gift. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah Mother, for the donation, sis. Listen, I do enjoy some coffee. So you literally just gifted me with something that I actually enjoy. And guess what? Even on my birthday, which is next Friday, October 7th, 10/7, I'm still gonna go live for y'all. I'm still gonna be present in here and give y'all this love and give y'all this energy. Still gonna do it. So thank you everybody for the early birthday wishes. Yes, it is my very last week of being in my 20s. It is the very last week of being in my 20s, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to enter a new decade. Enjoy the last week because your 30s are going to be phenomenal. I believe it. I know it. I trust it. Happy birthday to your daughter, Sarah. Happy birthday to her. I know it. Yeah, I just know that because I've just been blessed so far. I've been blessed so far, even through challenges, hardships. chaos, even through all of that, my life is so full. It's so full of love. It's so full of power and purpose and abundance. And it's just going to keep getting better. It's just going to keep getting better. And I truly feel that my life continues to get better because I show up here in spaces like we're doing right now, and I have powerful conversations, right? I speak powerfully, and I give love, and I share love, and I'm open to receiving love. And so I think that's the gift of my life, just giving and exchanging that love, that wisdom. And so I'm glad about it. Happy early birthday, Xavier. Happy early birthday to you. And thank y'all. Woo woo, yay, October, baby. Mine is October 30th. Yeah, shout out to the October babies. October is such a magical month. I'm gonna talk about it when we get into October. It's such a magical month. And it's funny, we go into October tomorrow. It's so amazing. Like, right? Like for y'all, it's 2022 blowing by like Godspeed. I can't believe we're already in October. Like, that's amazing. I feel like we just came into 2022 and we just have been, talking about, 2022 is going to be this, 2022 is going to be that. And damn, right? Oh, God. Babe, I know you are on here and I know you're listening. We got somebody. I'm going to say your name is Cyrock, who is saying that he is still waiting on the recording of the Master Student Conference. I know. I get it. You know what? This is what I need you to do for me. I need you to, I think you may have already done it. I think you may have already sent me your email and all of that stuff. I got to send your information to our business manager because Dream and D-Ray Wise are busy as hell. And so we got to send it to our business manager. Happy birthday to all of the October babies. I love y'all. And shout out to all y'all for being here. Thank y'all. Let's get into the content, right? So, what are your dreams really trying to tell you? I feel like I'm like a dream connoisseur for the simple fact that I am, like I said earlier, I got a Pisces moon. So that's straight water, dreamy energy. And I dream every night, right? I dream every night. Dreamwise, Cyrock, Dreamwise, it said email him at mentalalchemyself@gmail.com. So mental mentalchemy self self@gmail.com. He said email him there. He'll hook you up. Okay. And babe, I really want you to take care of this brother because he's been messaging me for months and I keep on saying, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. Hasn't happened. And you've been so patient and you've been so kind. So thank you so much for that. But so I dream almost every night. If I do not have a dream or if I don't remember my dreams, that's weird to me, right? That's different from me. Like I wake up in the morning, if I don't remember my dreams or if I feel like I didn't have a dream, I immediately go into this internal mode of questioning what is actually happening. Like for me not to dream, I literally feel like, okay, something is going on and I need to figure out what that is because me not dreaming is so out of the norm. Right? Me not dreaming is so out of my norm. And so I want to talk to y'all about the different types of dreams that we have, how to recognize what those dreams are, what they're actually trying to say to you. And then after that, we are going to jump into live readings, right? We're going to do some readings for y'all today. We're going to use this energy oracle card. And I love this deck because this deck, the cover of the deck is about the moon, right? So we're going to get the moon, dreaming, all of that good stuff like that. So dreams. We have a couple of main dreams. We have prophetic dreams, right? Meaning we have dreams that allow us to see into the future. We have these dreams that show us things that are to come. And now these prophetic dreams, you can feel the supernatural essence in those dreams. About 2 months ago, family, oh my God, crazy dream experience. It was it was scary, but it was magical at the same time. So a few months ago, I'm asleep and I'm like having an out-of-body experience, right? I'm having like an out-of-body experience in my dream. And I wake up and I'm in our bedroom, right? And the craziest dreams are the dreams where you're like in your house because you're like, okay, I know that this is a dream, but I'm in my house, so it feels so damn real. It feels so real. And so I'm in my bedroom, and I get up out of my bed. This is clearly an outer body experience type of dream, or prophetic dream, because these prophetic dreams, they feel so real. It feels like you are really in the moment. You know that you're receiving some sort of message. It's not the same as you're sleeping and you're in some land, some different type of land or different type of space. You know that you're seeing something that is actually coming to pass, right? So I am in the dream, I'm in my bedroom, and I hear spirit calling me to our magic room. In Dream and I's house, we have a magic room. We have a room that is dedicated to multiple altars, from ancestor altars to inner child altars to we got Tupac on the altar, we got a relationship altar. We have so many different altars in this room, but the most prominent, we got the Lakshmi altar, but the most prominent one that is in there that can kind of creep you out a little bit is the ancestor altar. And so in this dream, I wake up and I hear this spirit calling me to come to the ancestor altar. Mind y'all, in my dream, I can kind of feel the anxiety because I'm like, okay, it's the middle of the night. It's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, am I asleep? Am I awake? I'm just kind of confused, right? So I get up and I walk out of our room and I'm walking in the living room and I'm heading to our magic room. And I get to the door in the magic room, and this spirit, this energy is like, come in. Mind you, in my dream, it is nighttime. It is not during the day, right? It's not during the day. That there's no external light. There's no lights on in the house. I'm literally moving throughout my house in sheer darkness, right? So I'm walking. Spirit says, go in the room. Go into our magic room. Mind you, we got the ancestor altar in here. I mean, Dream got like a Joker mask in there. I mean, it's a magical room, but my humanity was kind of battling with me like, oh shit, this is seeming kind of creepy. So I open the door and I go in the room, and the very first thing that I see is balloons. I see balloons. I see a table. I see like a birthday cake, and I see dinosaurs, right? I see dinosaurs. I see balloons. I see a birthday cake. And in my dream, I'm like, okay, what is this? Why am I seeing this? And I got a little bit nervous because I'm like, I'm in this room where our ancestor altar is at. So I'm like, is this a message of somebody about to make the transition? Because y'all, in seeing the dinosaurs in the color green and all of that, I'm automatically thinking a boy. So even in my dream, I get a little bit anxious or a little bit nervous because I have a son. And so I'm in there and I see the dinosaurs and I see the balloons, and I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious in my dream because I'm like, well, the ancestor altar, balloons and dinosaurs. I don't know what this is. And so I end up leaving out of the magic room, going back into my room and basically going to sleep. So we can say this was a dream, but it was also kind of like an outer body experience. And so I wake up and I tell Dream about it. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I just had this dream that I was told to come into the magic room. And I go in there and I see these balloons and stuff, right? So this happened sometime during the week. On Saturday, my mother was like, y'all come to the house and we're going to hang out and we're going to kick it and all of that good stuff like that. We go to my mother's house on that weekend, and all of my family is there. Both of my brothers, my stepfather, my mom, Dream, and our kids. And my brother says, y'all, my girl is pregnant. He tells us that his girl is pregnant. Now, why is this so important? My brother, when he was a child, did not get, this is a little personal, but he had some issues with his with his genitals when he was a kid. A little bit personal, but he did. And so all his life, all through his teenage years, and even to his adult years, he's actually 33, about to turn 34 in November. But all his years, he thought that he couldn't have children. He thought that he couldn't have children. He thought that it wasn't happening for him. And that was a very, very heavy and hard thing for our family, right? Because if someone wants to have a child and they can't, if someone has the capacity to love and they and they want to share that love with a child and they can't for whatever reason, that's hard. And so my brother, struggling to have kids, and he had been in multiple long-term relationships, and these girls never got pregnant, and so it was hard. So when he told us that his girl was pregnant, oh my God, our entire family just cried. We just cried. We were just so happy and so excited for him. And so a couple of more weeks passed, and we're like, okay, we're going to find out what the baby is. We're going to do a gender reveal. And boom, of course, the baby is a boy, right? Of course, they popped a little balloon or they pulled a little string and whoo, it's a boy. And when the baby was a boy, when it was determined that the baby was a boy, that is when the dots had connected for me. And I was like, oh shit, my dream, seeing these balloons and seeing these dinosaurs and seeing this green and seeing it in our room that we dedicate to our spirituality, seeing it in our room that we dedicate to our meditation and things like that. See, when we found out it was a boy, then it made sense. Then I was able to understand, okay, that dream, that experience was a prophetic dream. That dream was letting me know that we were about to bring in new life into our family and that it was going to be a little boy. This is why I was seeing dinosaurs and balloons. Because typically when we're seeing balloons and a cake and things like that, that is a form of a celebration. And it's a form of birth and renewal and bringing forth new life. Okay. And so that's exactly what happened in that dream. And, hindsight being 2020, I look back and was like, wow, my spirit or that baby, the spirit of that baby was coming through to me and was letting me know, okay, I'm coming through. I'm about to be a new family member. And this is so important because my brother, he lost his very best friend at the beginning of this year. At the beginning of this year in January, my older brother lost his very best friend, right? His best friend, the only friend of his that I absolutely trust, right? Y'all know how you got family members and they got certain friends and you be like, I don't know about that friend, or I don't know if I like him. I don't know if I vibe with him. I don't know if I trust my family member being with that person. Shermo, rising in power to Shermo, Ashe and power to Shermo. Shermo was the friend where I was like, nah, I absolutely trust my brother with him. I know that if anything were to happen when my brother was with Shermo, Shermo would protect him. I knew that if my brother had the most money or if he didn't have money at all, his friend Shermo was always going to have his back. And so early this year, Shermo made the transition on his birthday, right? He got into a car accident on his birthday, and he died. And that was one of the hardest things. That was one of the closest losses that my brother ever had. And so it was a prophetic and spiritual dream because I was being shown that Shermo, and this is so deep, y'all, you got to follow me here. Shermo, in a sense, had sacrificed himself so that my brother can have a child, so that my brother could be a father. And y'all may not realize this, but that is some of the spiritual connections and some of the spiritual agreements that we make. Yes, I know you may think like, what? That is so crazy. That is so scary. But understand this. There are people who are walking on this planet with you right now. There are people who are walking on this earth with you right now who are literally assigned to you. Right? Your relationships are never happenstance. And immediately when Shermo made the transition, my spirit had already told me, oh yeah, that he gave up his life so that my brother can bring forth life. Because my older brother is one of the most loving, gentle, kind people ever. Like before his girl even got pregnant, he was already a father. And his best friend Shermo knew that this was a deep desire of his. And the reason why it was a deep desire of his is because my brother, he doesn't know his father. He doesn't have a relationship with his father. So being a father and giving a child this identity, giving a child that masculine, strong figure, that love, that's a part of my brother's purpose in being on this earth. So please understand, family, that sometimes it's your husband, your wife, your children, your next door neighbor, your mother, your father. They have an assignment. They have a role. They have something that they are meant to do in your life. And so when things happen, when chaos happens, when things are not making sense, understand that there's always a powerful, beautiful spiritual meaning that is actually coming through. But in the dream space, it can be confusing. In the dream space, it can be absolutely confusing, right? Because when we were pregnant with Kimmy, Dream and I just knew we were about to have a son, right? That's what we were telling ourselves. We were thinking that we wanted a son. Maybe Dream didn't think that, but I thought that. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have a son. I thought that I was going to align with my mother because my mother has a son, a daughter, and a son, right? And then Dream and I already had our first son, and then we had our daughter. So I was like, oh, I may have another son like my mother. That's what I thought. And so while I was pregnant with Kimmy, I kept on having all of these scary ass dreams, right? Dreams of me delivering the baby too early. I had a dream literally that I gave birth to her in the car, which my mind was actually playing this game with me because our daughter Cara was actually born in the car, literally, like legs up on the dashboard. I'm like, okay, this baby is coming in this car. We're not making it into no building. She's coming right here, right? So I had a dream that I was delivering a baby in the car. And when I delivered the baby, it was a boy. Mind you, this was before we knew that Kimmy was a girl, right? So I delivered this baby boy in the car. And I'm like, no, you're not supposed to be here right now. I'm literally talking to the baby and I'm like trying to push the baby back inside because I know it's not time to give birth. But what my spirit was showing me prophetically was that Kimmy was a girl and not a boy. I literally had 2 dreams of delivering a baby boy. And in the delivery of the baby boy, it was like chaos. It wasn't like how I envisioned my labor and delivery to go. And so recognizing that, my dreams were showing me, get it out your head that it's a boy, right? Because it's not a boy. And that is why you keep on having these dreams that are crazy and that are like scary, because it's not a boy. So prophetically, my dreams were telling me it's a girl. And because it's a girl, these experiences are not what's going to be happening. So in your dreams, family, a lot be going on, and you have to have enough spiritual awareness, right? And you have to be tuned into yourself enough to know what is actually being communicated to you. This is why having a dream journal is so important. Because you need to be able to look back on these things. Now, me, the person that I am, I have impeccable memory, right? I have impeccable memory. I can collect information rather quickly and remember everything, right? If you don't have that, right? If that's not in your mind and in your capacity to be able to withhold information like that, then you need to be journaling your dreams down so that when things start to happen in your life, you can refer back to them and be like, oh, my dream was already telling me that this is what was going to happen. My dream was already showing me what everything is. All right. So in your prophetic dreams, understand they feel so real. Not every dream that you have where you feel like it's actually happening. Do y'all feel that way? Let me know in the chat. If you have some dreams to where you're like, nah, this is a dream. This doesn't feel real. And then let me know if you have those dreams where you be like, oh no, this shit is real. This is the real world. Do y'all have that? I know I do. And I can tell the difference. I know beyond no shadow when I'm dreaming. And then there are dreams that I have where I'm like, this feels too surreal. This feels too like it's actually happening. And it's in those moments, right? It's in those moments where you may be very well having a prophetic dream. Okay? It's in those moments where you may be having a prophetic dream where it feels absolutely too real. And you're just like, when you wake up and you be confused about like, did that really happen? Like my dream about my brother having this baby and this spirit coming to our family, the soul coming to our family. When I had that, y'all, I literally was like, I had to be like, babe, did I get up and like walk out the room last night? Did I go into the magic room? And y'all, like literally the very next day, I got up, and I went in there and I'm like, okay, no, I was dreaming. That was a dream. Wow. Right? It's when it's that intense is where this is prophetic and you're really receiving a message. You're really receiving a download. You're receiving some information. And sometimes these prophetic dreams can be a little bit scary, right? Like you don't want that to be the experience. Like when I was delivering, when I was having a baby in these dreams, like it was feeling so real. Like I was so scared in those dreams. Like literally I had so much anxiety in those dreams, but it was my spirit letting me know your baby is safe. You're not having a son. So, make peace with that fact, which that was really a gift. That was really a gift too, because the way that my children are lined up, right? Son, daughter, daughter, the way that my children are lined up, nobody in my family has this combination of children as far as their genders go. Like I said, my mother, it's, son, daughter, son. My father, it's me. I'm my father's firstborn. It's daughter, son, 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 right? And so the way it laid out for me is so different. It's so supernatural. And it's really a message to me that what Dream and I are doing is actually creating a new type of lineage, is actually creating a new type of DNA. Does this work? Oh, let's get some. Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all, one of our lights went out for these little box lights we have here so that we can present good information to y'all with quality lighting. And I hadn't used it for a while, and I'm glad I just turned it on. Now I got both lights coming at me, right? So Dream and I are really creating a new type of family structure with having 2 daughters and a son. So we really diving in head first into the spirit realm, right? Within my mother and my father, heavy masculine energy. 2 brothers and me, and my brothers don't take no shit, right? Like my brothers are very strong, masculine men, and they are that way because we grew up with a single mother who is a lioness. I just spent time with her this morning before coming on here live with y'all. I went to my mother's house and just hung out with her because, that's what you do. We're growing and we're loving on each other. And so that's what we just did earlier today. So my children coming out differently was really a testament to we're creating a new lineage that is really built on healing and true spirituality and knowing who you are and tapping into that feminine energy and not being afraid of the intuition and not getting caught up on, life and the rat race of humanity, right? So very, very powerful stuff. That is the prophetic dreams. Y'all want to know something else? Let me know in the chat if y'all want to know about some other types of dreams. Because listen, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 types of dreams to share with y'all. Do y'all want to know about those 7 types of dreams? Y'all let me know, because I only want to give y'all what you want. I don't want to give y'all what I think you want. I want to give y'all what y'all actually need, right? I got 7 different types of dreams that I have experienced. 7. So that's amazing. 7 different types of dreams. See, some of y'all be thinking, oh, every dream is the same. And they're not. Every dream is not the same. Every dream is not the same. Honey, actually think about this. Y'all, think about this. Sleep is so precious. When you think about how precious sleep really is, y'all think about that. If people don't sleep, they literally go crazy. Their bodies will literally shut down. Sleep is your moment of regeneration. Sleep is where you are healing. Sleep is where you are transforming. Sleep is absolutely necessary. Think about that. I don't think we really because we sleep for so long, because sleeping is such a normal thing for us, right? I don't think we think about how spiritual it is, that literally your body has to turn off. Your consciousness has to turn off. Literally, sleep is your regeneration, right? Like, think about in these movies where you see these machines, these robots, and they're doing all of these things. And then, somebody that's controlling it hits the button and it just turns off. Right? This robot is just going, 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 going. And then you hit that button and it just turns off. Because it needs that moment to reprogram, to get structure. I mean, think about our computers even go to sleep. Right? If you're not operating your computer for so long, it'll say something like sleep mode and it'll go black. So understand that your sleep is so powerful, it's so magical. And when we sleep and when we dream, we are actually going back to that divine sacred space from which we came. That's what we're really doing. And so it's so very important. And you have to know that there are multiple types of dreams. And so we just talked about the prophetic dream. You want to know something so cool is that we also dream of our past lives. Yeah. We also dream of our past lives. We also go to sleep and our subconscious mind. So here's the science behind it. Your subconscious mind holds on to all memories. Your subconscious mind holds on to all of your memories, not just your memories of this lifetime, but your past lifetimes as well. The subconscious mind is infinite storage. It is absolutely infinite storage. Okay? Infinite storage. All right? And so when we go to sleep, based off of what our higher self, our spirit, based off of the message that we need to receive in order for us to grow and expand in this waking life, sometimes we got to visit past lives. And these are the dreams where you feel like you are in another time, you're in another space, you're just somewhere different. I remember I had a dream, I'm like running through a field. I'm running through a field and I'm a black girl. I'm a young black girl. I'm running through a field. I got on like a long skirt. I have like a long ponytail. Hair is like blowing in the wind. And I'm running through a field and I see all of these cottages. Wasn't no slave stuff though. Let me make that point. It wasn't no slave stuff. I actually have never had a dream about me being a slave or about anybody being a slave. That's just me, right? So I don't know if it's real or not, but I know for me, I've never had a dream of me being in that space. But I have had past life dreams where I've seen myself. And so this is so deep. Ooh, it's so deep. Let me just keep going with the dream. But I'm running in the field and the grass is kind of high and I'm running through the field and I see these different cottages. And I do see that there's kind of a different dynamic, right? There's a level of intensity between white people and black people. I have observed that, right? I have observed that in my dream space. Now, these dreams, when you're dreaming of a past life, it's like you're looking through the lens of somebody else. And thank you, Giovanna. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And yes, Divine Zoe, when you go to sleep, you go back to source being the subconscious, source being the all, right? So when you have these past life dreams, it's like you are looking through the lens of somebody else. Think about some of those movies or some of those shows where they put another person's consciousness into a different body, right? Think about like your Black Mirrors and those shows like that show you, or even think about the movie Get Out, right? You know, in the movie Get Out, how they were taking, the minds of these white folks and putting them into a Black person's body, right? So when you dream of a past life, you have a connection to who you are in this present moment, but what you're seeing and what you are observing presently is not, it's different, right? It's different. And so like when I was this young Black girl running in the field and seeing these small cottages, I knew for a fact that it wasn't me, but it was me, right? And that has actually happened to me multiple times to where I'm just like, okay. And then it finally hit me like, oh shit, girl, you're dreaming of a past life. You're dreaming of a past life. And so what triggers these past life dreams is when you watch certain movies or you watch certain shows, right? Okay. So for me, and this is how you'll know, right? Sometimes y'all think that y'all are getting emotional and you're thinking you're connecting to a movie just because the movie is good. Sometimes the movies that you're watching or the shows that you're watching, sometimes it's connecting you to a memory of yours that you've forgotten about. So, for example, Dream and I, when Mulan came out again on Disney Plus, we watched Mulan, and we were really watching it for ourselves. We weren't watching it for the kids. We were like, no, let's watch this. Let's enjoy this, right? So we kicked back on the couch watching Mulan, and as we're watching the movie, multiple times throughout that movie, I felt a cry, right? I felt a cry want to come out of me. Like I felt these emotions. I felt this overtaking. And I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Why is this little kid movie that I've seen years and years and years ago, why is it touching me and affecting me right now? And you know what? Dream Wise is so sweet. Love you, babe. He from that emotional moment and me and him talking about it and some of the downloads that I received in my sleep, from that, he goes out and he buys me a little Mulan figurine. And so I got that Mulan figurine on my altar. But I realized that the reason why that movie was making me so emotional and was just very triggering for me was because I spent the past life in Asia in a time of war. I spent the past life in Asia in a time where there was war. So observing this war and observing these Asians fighting and seeing this girl stand up for her community and go for it like that, it triggered me and it reminded me of my past life. And the dots continue to be connected in my dream space, but also in my waking life. I remember I was in a Ross one time, right? And I was in Ross because I wanted to go look at statues. I wanted to add some extra stuff to the house. And I'm looking at a Kuan Yin statue. And this little Asian man comes up to me. He has hearing aids in, right? He comes up to me and he says, Laos, Laos, Laos. He just kept on repeating the words, Laos, Laos. And I'm just like, because I don't really know what he's talking about. I don't know what Laos is. He got hearing aids on. We in a Ross. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just like, okay, all right, cool. Laos. Okay, yeah. And so him doing that, I automatically said, well, I'm buying this statue because that's just not coincidence. Like that clearly means something. And so I take the statue, I buy it, I come home and I immediately research Laos. And I find out that in Laos was one of the places that is near Thailand before Thailand became what Thailand is, right? Before Thailand became what Thailand is, war had to happen. War happened on that ground. And Laos was one of the places in Thailand, because it was before Thailand, right? It's one of the places where they had the most explosions, the most, what are those little grenades that are on the ground that if you step on it, then it'll blow you up? Laos is one of those places that had the most of those little, I don't know what they're called, bombs of some sort, right? So what I'm telling you, family, is that your dreams, your waking life, and you got to be able to pay attention. You got to be able to tune in. And you have to understand that you will always receive what you need when you need it. And so landmines, thank you, Michelle. Landmines, that's the word right there. I appreciate you for coming through with that, right? So you have to understand that you'll always receive what you need when you need it. That dream for me was so very important because and that realization for me was so very important because at the time I was really trying to work through my abandonment wounds. I was really trying to work through, the challenges that I've had with surrendering to love and surrendering to relationships and just being okay with being in a vulnerable state. Because in that past life, when, there was war, I had lost all of my family. And I found this out through meditation. I found this out by literally meditating. I did 21 days of past life regression on myself. 21 days of past life regression on myself, where I would literally meditate and I would ask my spirit to show me, past lives, to show me situations that I needed to learn from and that I needed to grow from. And so when you are asking your spirit, when you're asking your higher self, when you're asking God a specific question for your healing and for your transformation, whether you are asking it out of your mouth or not, you will always receive the answers in your dream space and in your waking life. And you have to be able to connect the dots. Okay? You have to be able to connect the dots. Hell, last night I had a dream of Tabitha Brown. How many of y'all know Tabitha Brown? How many of y'all know Tabitha Brown? Let me know in the chat. Last night I had a dream of Tabitha Brown, who is a true inspiration of mine, right? Like Tabitha Brown is like, when I see her and I listen to her content, she's like, she's goals for me, right? You know, some people got goals, you know, Beyonce may be a goal, or Erykah Badu, or somebody, you know, y'all know how people, you know, look up to celebrities and all of that. But Tabitha Brown is literally someone who actually inspires me. And so she was in my dream last night, and it was so powerful because, you know, in my dream, I'm like sitting on the floor or something, and she comes in my dream and she looks at me and she says, keep making your videos. She looks at me, she says, keep making your videos. I'm listening to your videos. Somebody needs it. It don't matter who looking at it. Keep making your videos, right? She says that to me in the dream. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm like, okay, Tab, I'm gonna keep making these dreams. It's so powerful. It's so spiritual. And then so the dream continues. This is so good. And this dream was really and that's how dreams work. This dream is really the inspiration of the reel that I made today that is on Instagram. I'll share it on YouTube later today. But Tabitha Brown looks down at me. Well, she doesn't look down at me, but she gets down where I'm at. She looks at me eye to eye and she says, keep making your videos. I'm watching, right? And you know, the person is probably not watching, if we're really being real. She probably don't know me. All right, there's millions and billions of people in the world. She's probably not really watching, but what the dream was symbolizing was her energy, her essence, which is just that of love. And that energy that is love, right? That is of mothering and nurturing. That is also my energy. So when Tabitha Brown is like, I'm watching, what's really watching is my higher self. Does that make sense? So you got to be able to decode these dreams, right? Because my higher self is really the great mother. It's really of love. It's really of nurturing. It's really of that support. It's of giving people what they need in order for them to grow and expand. So it's not necessarily her, the physical, but it's the energy that she actually embodies that was communicating to me, that was saying, I'm watching, you're good, this is needed, keep going. And I was like, okay, right? And then a little bit later in that same dream, I'm naked in front of Tabitha Brown. And so my spirit, my dream, my higher self is like, allow yourself to be naked physically, not physically, y'all, excuse me, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And what that actually means is allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to be seen. Allow people to really get into you, the depths of who you are. And I feel like I do that. You know, I feel like I do that, but I know I can get deeper into just my essence. I know that I can get deeper, and I kind of, you know, I can kind of be in my own head about what I share and what I put out and all of that stuff like that, right? And so my spirit was just like, be naked with the people, be naked with the people that you're working with, and whatever is necessary. And, you know, Tabitha Brown did not judge at all. Right? I'm looking for clothes. She like, it's okay. But it was beautiful. So that moves me right on to the next essence of dreams. Some dreams are coming with a spiritual lesson, right? That Tabitha Brown dream right there was a spiritual lesson for me. It was a question. It was the answer to a question that I didn't even realize that I was asking. And it's so deep because over the last couple of days, or maybe this entire week, I haven't felt like posting to Instagram, right? I'm like, oh, I don't feel like figuring out a reel. I don't feel like doing all of those things. I just, you know, because I flow a different way. And so the question that I was asking was, well, how do I show up on these social platforms that are absolutely necessary to grow and expand your business, right? To reach more people, to connect with more people. How do I do it? And then my dream just said, just be vulnerable. Just post whatever you feel. Just post whatever comes to your heart. Allow yourself to be naked. Let people into your mind, into your spirit, into your emotions. Just do that. Just keep it simple, right? I see you. I see you. I understand you, right? So it was a spiritual lesson that I need to apply right here, right now, right? These spiritual lessons, y'all, I talked about this on Patreon, but sometimes in our dreams, we literally go to school, right? Some of y'all thinking, oh, that's just, you know, this dream just happened. No, your dream is trying to teach you something that you need to apply in your waking life. Okay? Your dream is literally teaching you something that you need to apply in your waking life. Right? I had a dream about Bobby Hemmett. How many of y'all know Bobby Hemmett? Let me know in the chat if y'all know who Bobby Hemmett is. If you don't know, Bobby Hemmett is a spiritual master teacher, and he's just so dynamic as a person. And a lot of his videos were my introduction into spirituality, the real essence of spirituality. And I remember I had a dream that I was in a damn classroom with Bobby Hemmett. Now, this was one of those dreams to where I knew, I was like, oh shit, spirit is really working on me. I'm receiving spiritual lessons. Literally, it's just me and Bobby Hemmett, and he got a projector. He has a projector in the dream, and he is showing on the screen. He's showing on the screen, the 5 elements. And he's literally teaching me a lesson about how we are in our nature, all 5 elements. We are water, literally. We are fire, literally. We are air, literally. We are earth, literally, right? And so he's just showing me in the dream how we can shapeshift, right? So freaking deep. And it was a crazy dream, because in the dream, Dream-wise had made the transition. And I was so hurt by that in the dream. I was very sad by that. And next thing you know, I'm like teleported to a classroom, and Bobby Hemmett is at the front of the class, and it was like, I'm about to teach you how to basically perfect and embody these elements. And so he's literally showing me how to transform into water, how to transform into air, how to transform into earth, how to transform into fire. Now, with Bobby Hemmett being present, you already know you learning something, right? Because that's how in this spirituality, Bobby Hemmett is automatically a teacher from many of us, right? Automatically, he's one of our teachers. He's somebody that we've learned from. So when you see him in the dream, you automatically know you are tapping into a spiritual lesson. You are tapping into a spiritual manifestation, or a spiritual, you're about to receive some spiritual information that you need to apply. And so it was so funny, because that very same weekend, the weekend that I had that dream, we had Khadijah, Brother Panic's wife, on our Sunday service or something like that. And we talked about the dream, and she was like, oh yeah, you just mastering yourself, right? And it was just so true. A very spiritual lesson on the fact that we are all elemental beings. We all have water, fire, air, earth, and spirit, of course. And we have to learn how to balance those energies if we want to really create and manifest and do what we need to do in this lifetime. You have to absolutely be able to contort and transform based off of what's going on. See, me with having that Pisces moon, right? And then being that Libra sun, air and water, I get a lot of my lessons based off of how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling, right? I can tune into my thoughts. I can tune into my feelings. I can tune in like that. And that's where I grow from. But my spirit at the time was like, you need some more fire in that ass. My spirit was like, you need to turn up the fire being more of a masculine, a more of a discipline, a more of a consistent, a more of a, you got shit to do, you got work to do type energy. And I needed to embody that at that time. So whenever a person like Bobby Hemmett comes through, the dream is all about you learning a spiritual lesson. But not only that, I had a dream last week. I had a dream that I was on a red planet, right? And when you see a red planet, your mind may automatically go to Mars, right? The planet Mars. Understand this. People are transporting and living on the planet Mars. And it may not be physically, but people are traveling there astrally, right? And so I was on this red planet. I'm on this red planet, and I'm here looking for my children. I'm like, okay, where are KJ, Kara, and Kim? I know they're here, but I don't know where they are at. And so I'm in this dream, and I see these giant animals that are made from dandelion seeds. I learned this. One of my Patreon members, shout out to you, sis, one of our Patreon members, because last week when I was talking about this, or earlier this week when I was talking about this dream with them, I didn't even realize that the flower that I was seeing was a dandelion seed. So shout out to the Patreon family, because sis, you held me down. You held me down, sis. You supported me when I needed you, and you helped me to connect some dots. So in this dream, I'm on a red planet, and I see these giant animals that are made from the little flowers that are white, that if you blow it, you know, they say make a wish. You know, little flowers you used to pick up when you were a kid, and they say make a wish, and when you make a wish, you blow it, and it just flows off in the wind. I didn't know that was dandelion seeds until my Patreon member told us. So shout out to you. So these giants, right? These giant animals, these giant beings are made from that. So magical. So my mind automatically was like, okay, these are some fairies. I'm on like a fairyland, and it's red, and these are some magical beings who are wish beings, right? But I'm here, I'm looking for my kids though. I'm looking for my kids. I'm like, where are my kids at? That is why I'm here, right? And so I'm looking for them, I'm looking for them. And really, these giants that were made of these dandelion seeds, right? Or star seeds, as our Patreon member said, these are star seeds, which is so powerful. As I'm looking for the kids, these giant beings, I can tell that they were protecting and guarding this place. They were the guardians of this place. And so I'm kind of like sneaking around, trying not to wake any of them up and things like that. And I get to this building. And when I go in the building, there are hundreds of kids there, and they are all learning high science. They're literally learning things that we can't even fathom, especially us adults. We can't even fathom with our adult minds, right? With our minds that has been conditioned with school and religion and all of that, we can't even fathom some of the shit that they were learning. And so I look through this window, and I see my kids, like, think about Raising Dion, right? Think about the movie Raising Dion, where they had those kids in that building, the show Raising Dion. They had the kids in those buildings, and the kids are all doing magical things. Where there is a school in the astral realm that your kids are visiting when they go to sleep at night, that is teaching them some very high spiritual science. I've been. As the mother lioness that I am, I've been to that school, okay? And so I'm in this school, and I'm seeing these kids do all of this magical work. I'm seeing these kids do all of this magnificent stuff. And actually, the two singers, Chloe and Halle Bailey, who are genius girls, they are super creative. Their voices are magnificent. One is the Little Mermaid. Y'all already know that's Halle. And then Chloe is the one who's just tapped into her provocative, her provocative. She decided that she was going to be the sex symbol of the sisters, which is fine. Do you, sis, right? They were at the school. And I was literally talking to them, and they were like, yeah, this is a school where these kids come and they learn super magical, powerful things. They learn their own gifts and talents. They start to perfect their own gifts and talents here. And so when I woke up from that dream, my spirit was like, this is the place when you were a kid, when you were from the ages of 0 to 7 years old, whenever you went to sleep, this is where you were going. And you were being taught your language. You were being taught about your gifts, your talents, your powers. That's where you were being taught. But then when you wake up and you got a mother or a father in a school who are saying, no, you don't have no imagination. No, don't do that. No, you can't do that. No. And you got all of that. You forget about everything that you're learning in your sleeping state. So that dream was a spiritual lesson for me, and really a remembrance to say, one, just like the kids right now are visiting that school in the astral realm, in the dream space, and they're learning and growing. All of you who are in here right now, when you were a kid, you were also learning and growing and building at that school as well. So it's a spiritual lesson to say, listen, you are learning some shit in your dream space. You are getting spiritual lessons while you are sleeping. But when you dream, you have to know that what you are seeing right now is not just like, oh, random happenstance. Now, I am going to talk to y'all about, the conscious consumption dreams. I am going to talk to you about that. All right. But a lot of you are having dreams where you are learning spiritual lessons. You're learning things that you need to be applying. But you have to think about your dreams in that way. You have to approach your dreams in that way. Y'all let me know in the chat. Have y'all ever, when you are sleeping right now, or when you were a child, have you ever felt like you were in a school? You got a for real reason, Aquarian goddess, to tell them to lay their butts down and go to sleep. Yes. Send them back from whence they came, right? Send them back from whence they came. Send them back to that school so they can get their education on. Yes, you do. Right? So some of your dreams are just straight up spiritual lessons. Now, let's go into one of the most intense dreams that we have, and these are our healing dreams. I'm going to talk to y'all about it because we also have dreams where we are being shown the things that we need to heal. And these are the dreams that come with very heavy emotions. These are the dreams where you hurt. Man, a couple of years ago, I had a dream that dream-wise, my partner, my life partner, we've been life partners for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. We were actually talking about that yesterday. But I had a dream, and it's so crazy because my dreams that he is involved in, sometimes they be past life dreams, and sometimes they be dreams telling me about what I'm healing, and sometimes they be prophetic dreams. But I remember when I first started getting serious about dreams, one night I had this dream that dream-wise had multiple women. Y'all ladies and y'all men, y'all don't have them dreams before where the person that you love got multiple women or multiple men and they just, whatever. I had a dream that dream-wise had another woman in our house, and it was like a polygamous relationship. That's what it was. It was a polygamous relationship. He had 2 wives and was probably wanting more. And in my dream, I didn't want that. I wasn't feeling that, right? I wasn't feeling that really. And I remember y'all crying. Oh my God. Like I woke up crying from that dream. That's how deep that dream was for me. That's how my heart was hurting so bad that he didn't just want to be with only me, right? Very heavy dream, very intense dream. I woke up crying. Literally. Very, very hard dream. And, I know who Dream is, right? He's a very loyal person, very, very loyal. And he really only wants me. You know what I mean? But in that dream, he was, he had another woman that he wanted us to be one big old happy family. Now, here's the reality. The reality is that in a past life, and I be telling Dream this, I don't know if he believes me, but in a past life, we had a past life in Africa. Dream don't, I don't know if he believes me, but I know what I know because I am that divine feminine energy and I can tap into the subconscious mind hella quick. I see shit. I literally have seen Dream and I in a past life with multiple partners, right? Literally, this, I know y'all may be like, what? Yes, I saw us in a past life, and in that past life, there was no emotion, right? This is how I knew it was a past life dream, is because I didn't have any emotion towards it, right? I was literally conscious, okay, this is Dream, this is me, we are together, right? Like we are husband and wife. But then we got these other husbands and wives that we do spiritual stuff with, right? We do magical practices with, we do rituals with, we do all of this. Like it was amazing in that life. It was in Africa too. We were in Africa in that past life. And we were a group of couples who were seeking and searching for spiritual gems, right? Like we were literally on a spiritual quest. And so we would travel to all of these different lands and things like that. And we would discover different spiritual hidden knowledge. And I knew, because we were moving around with all of these couples, I knew on certain ritualistic practices, right? Certain spiritual practices, we would exchange partners. I'm just telling y'all the dreams that I had. I'm just telling y'all the dreams, right? So, but in that dream, I didn't have that heavy emotion. So I know that was a part of our past life experience. But in the dream where I woke up and I was hurt and I was crying and I was whatever, it wasn't with the reality of Dream actually wanting to be in another relationship. It wasn't that. What it was I felt abandoned. So at the time where I had that dream, my spirit was telling me, you need to heal this abandonment wound. You need to heal this fear that you have that, the dream was going to leave you like your father did, because that's what it was. Right. And so the deep hurt and heartache that I had wasn't because he had another woman in the dream. It was because I felt like I was being left out. I felt like, my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions, I felt like it didn't matter. I felt like I wasn't valued. And that's why the hurt was so deep. Okay. So in that dream, I just realized, oh shit, I got more work to do, because I'm not even, at that time, and that was years ago, but I realized that I'm not even loving to the full capacity that I could love, because I still have this fear of abandonment. Now, that fear of abandonment was the manifestation of growing up with a single mother and my father being who he was at the time, and him just not being there. So sometimes, family, you're going to have dreams that are showing you the spaces and places that you need to do very real, very deep healing. Like Shangoya Dark says on YouTube, it's showing you the spaces where you have very deep shadow work to do. And that's exactly what that dream was. Okay. I had another dream where, my children were being abused. Right. And I knew this dream was a shadow work dream. I knew this dream was a dream showing me where I deeply needed to heal, because I saw not even just that, but I saw myself being abused. Like all of the background subconscious shadow fears that I had in that one dream, I saw them all. The dream was like I had took ayahuasca or something. The dream was like I had took some sort of psychedelic and I was about to face every single fear that I had, except it had it in the dream, right? This specific dream, and I'm going to give y'all a technique. But this specific dream showed me all the shit, all the fears that I had. And it was an opportunity for me to heal. Here's a great technique to use if you want to pierce and take a look into your chakras and see what's actually happening, see what fears you're holding on to. Fall asleep on your back. Go to sleep on your back. Whenever I fall asleep on my back, them chakras are opened up. Them chakras are opened up, them cords are opened up, and you will see the emotions, you will see the thoughts, you will see the traumas. It's that simple. Be intentional about falling asleep on your back and tell yourself, I want to see what I need to heal. Because that's exactly what I did in this dream, where I was going from one trauma to the next trauma, to the next trauma, to the next trauma. I was just like, oh, this is some very deep healing shit. This is some very deep healing shit. I got a question over here on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and answer it, even though it's a very deep, detailed answer. It's not even one thing, but I can tell you a few things. Supa_1 over here on Instagram says, how do you heal your abandonment wound? Girl, let me tell you, if that's a girl, I don't know if it's a girl. I can't see the picture, but family, listen, healing your abandonment wound is a continuous process. Healing any wound that you have is a continuous process. It's something that takes work. It's something that takes consciousness. But you have to ask yourself, what is the belief that you've developed about yourself based off of that wound? So the belief that I created based off of being abandoned was that I had to do stuff for people in order for me to be loved and valued. The belief that I created was I had to look a certain way in order for me to be loved and valued. The belief that I created was You know, I wasn't valuable on my own and by myself, that I was only valuable if I had a relationship, or if somebody was telling me that I was good enough, if somebody was telling me that I was beautiful. So that was the belief that I created based off that abandonment wound. So I had to address that belief. I had to do the alchemy on that belief. And so one of the things that I started doing, and shout out to Dream, because a lot of my healing work I've been able to do through him as a reflection. But what I started doing was I started intentionally creating space from him, right? Meaning, I know we're good. I know our love is strong. But babe, go out. Go out. Go do something that you want to do. Let me spend time by myself. Let me just enjoy me. I literally had to be intentional about not being around him, even though I love him, even though I wanted to be with him, even though I wanted him to be with me all the time. I literally had to say, let him go. Let him go. You go. I literally, to heal my abandonment wound, I literally had to spend good quality time with myself. I literally had to tell myself, I love being alone. I enjoy being alone. I had to start telling myself, I am holy on my own. I literally had to do that. And so I also had to look at the ways in which that I unconsciously push people away because I'm afraid of being abandoned. Because that's what we do. When you have a wound, you will unconsciously trigger that wound and bring that thing up, and you will actually manifest that on you will manifest it. It's not even about the other person that you're in a relationship with. It's what you do. It's what you say. Right? Because when we're in this healing work, family, a lot of the times we contradict ourselves. We say we want one thing and we do the total opposite. We say we want one thing and when things get heated and when things get triggered, we say things that are not in alignment with what we actually truly desire. So you got to become conscious. You got to become conscious of your own behaviors, your own patterns that you've developed based off of being abandoned. And whatever those qualities, whatever those character traits, whatever that thought process is, whatever that belief is, you have to do the work to do the alchemy and to transform that. And you got to be consistent in that. And when you fuck up, you need to be able to apologize. You need to be able to apologize. You need to be able to be vulnerable and say, you know what? My abandonment wound makes it easy for me to walk out on people and not be in the trenches. My abandonment wound makes it difficult for me to trust and open up and be vulnerable. You got to allow yourself to be naked. You got to allow yourself to trust. You got to allow yourself to feel. You got to allow yourself. You have to allow people to be who they are. Oftentimes when people deal with an abandonment wound, you don't even let people be who they divinely are because you're afraid that if they be who they really are, you're not going to like it and it's not going to work out. So you would cast an illusion on a person. You will make a person to be who you want them to be based off of your unhealed trauma instead of observing who they actually are and embracing who they actually are. So it's very deep work. Like I said, it's very, very deep work. And let me say this, shameless plug. One, book a complimentary call. If you book a complimentary call, please be ready and prepared at the time that you book it, all right? And I'm going to do my best to show up, right? So book a complimentary call if y'all would like more support, more one-on-one support on some of these wounds, abandonment, rejection, unhealed, unresolved trauma. Book a complimentary call and we can talk about it more on a one-on-one basis, because how it manifests for everybody is different. Like 1320 Netta just said, my abandonment wound causes me to feel unworthy. Exactly. And that's a valid point, right? Because your child mind is like, oh, I'm not good enough. If my mama didn't want me or my daddy didn't want me, why would anybody else want me? Why would abundance want me? Why would love want me? Why would freedom want me? Why would a healthy relationship want me if my mom and my dad or whoever didn't even want me, didn't even take care of me, didn't even give me what I need? I'm clearly not worthy enough. These are the beliefs that we create. And we feel bad about that. We feel bad about that. We're like, what the hell? This is what I'm really thinking about myself? Yes, it is. And the sooner you make peace with your unconscious mind, the sooner you make peace with some of those shadow aspects, the sooner you're actually able to let it go and move on and understand. So when it comes to self-worth, you have to understand that worth is not determined by what you do. You have to determine what worth really means. You have to determine what value really means. You gotta tap into that. You gotta ask yourself, what is that really? And so I had to, when I was telling myself I am holy as I am, I stopped thinking about Desiree, the human who was actually named by her father. I had to stop thinking about Desiree, and I had to start, perceiving myself from the space that is nameless. Right? I had to start perceiving myself from the space that is intimate, that is infinite. Right? That's a major key. You got to shift from thinking of yourself from the human perspective and move into the supernatural, the divine state of you. See, we do it all the time when we're in church and religion, and we like, oh yes, God, or even, even Oshun or Oya and Yemiya and Lakshmi and Ganesha, all of these deities and stuff, we see them as that infinite worthiness, infinite love, infinite abundance. We see that, we can observe that. We're like, oh, wow, this person is so magical. But you are that energy. You are that energy. So you have to connect yourself more to that energy. You have to identify more with that energy rather than identifying with the shortcomings of your humanity. Because at the end of the day, no parent is ever going to be perfect. It's impossible because we're all having a human experience. You will never be absolutely perfect because we're having a human experience. So when we shift our perspective and we focus on that divine sacred part of us that is infinite, that never dies, when we shift and we focus on that, that's when these wounds and these attachments to the shit of this life fades away. But it takes conscious practice. It takes work. It takes presence. And it takes being here right now and choosing what you're going to focus your attention to. Let me know if that helps, because I know that was just a lot. That was a lot. Y'all let me know on Instagram and on YouTube. Shout out to DreamWise for leaving this water up here for me. Shout out to you, babe, because it actually tastes really good. It's the perfect temperature. And I am drinking, right? I'm drinking all of these affirmations: successful, healthy, courageous, prosperous, creative, enough. I am enough. I am more than enough, right? Gorgeous. You see that? I am gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I am full of joy. I am strong, confident, grateful, happy, powerful, peace, love, free, magic, creator. I am wealthy. Thank you, love. I just drank all of that goodness into my being. If y'all are interested in this Emoto water bottle, there is a link in my bio over here on Instagram that says spiritual products, books, and things like that. You can click that link and check that out. I just drank all of that goodness and I feel it. All right. So that was the healing dreams. Let's talk about the spiritual ascension dreams. Do y'all want to talk about the spiritual ascension dreams? Are y'all still here with me? Y'all let me know if y'all still here before I talk about the spiritual ascension dreams. Because I got a lot of information for y'all today. We're still going to do some readings. I still want to do that. We got some time. We got some time. We're going to kick it a little bit. Do y'all want to hear about okay, Netta, she said, I got mine. Go, girl. Do y'all want to hear about the dreams that we see when we are ascending spiritually? Y'all want to hear about it? Let me know if y'all still here. Let me know if y'all want to hear about it. I want to tell y'all about it. I wrote it down. on my handy dandy journal. Y'all, look at that journal. This is called a womb journal. This was from Mama Mystic. I can't think of their business name. What is their business name? The Columbian Exchange decided I'm writing all my stuff in here. The womb journal, because From the womb, everything is birth. Shout out to all of them. Listen, let me say, shout out to Michelle on here. Shout out to Stephanie on here. Shout out to, let me see, all of my people who are in womb alchemy or are joining womb alchemy. Shout out to Lakeisha, who I saw on here. Let's see, who else is on here? Shout out to all of my womb alchemists. I see y'all. Let me see. If you are in womb alchemy of the Sacred Sister Circle, say whoop, whoop, say what's up. Shout out to you. I see you. I appreciate you. We're tapping in with this womb journal, right? So the spiritual ascension dreams. Oh my God. These are the dreams that feel like bliss. These are the dreams that feel like bliss. Netta, you learn so much information about womb alchemy. I love and learn so much from your information about womb alchemy. I love that. Thank you, sis. I love that. I'm glad. I'm so grateful for it. I love it. Listen, the October round of womb alchemy actually starts October 9th. So not this weekend, but the next weekend. So if you're still in, okay, peace, Nicole. Nicole said, let me let you know I'm here and I am a womb alchemist. Shout out to you, Nicole. Yes, yes, yes. Shout out to you. I see you, sis. Love you. You always show up and show out. She said, yeah, let me let you know I'm here. Peace, Divine Magic. I'm going to remember that that's you now, from now on. Peace, Nicole, Womb Alchemist. Womb Alchemy, the 5th round of Womb Alchemy, we're actually starting next Sunday. So if you're still interested in joining, the link is in my bio. It's not too late. Aquarian Goddess says, this definitely helped. I was asking for more effective tools to help me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all are so loved. Y'all are so amazing. Thank y'all for showing up. I am just a reflection of y'all, and I'm glad to be it. So the spiritual ascension dreams, y'all, these are the dreams that feel like bliss. Have y'all ever had a dream where you are just in a blissful state and you're just like, okay, this is magical. This is magical. Oh my God, y'all, these dreams are like, you feel like you are just in love, right? Literally, you are feeling love. My very first spiritual ascension dream, so magical. I was not even working with these deities, but this is what happened. I remember I literally was in my dream and I have on all white. I have all white. So I can tell as I'm observing, I can tell that this is like a ritual or it's a ceremony or something happening. And I'm being guided by all of these people who are also wearing all white, right? Like everybody is wearing all white. And we are seeing these beautiful gold buildings, these beautiful gold statues, and they're all lit up and they're beautiful and vibrant. And I'm being guided by these other people that are wearing white. And they put me in a bath. They put me in a bath, right? So I'm in this bath and I started just getting bathed, like squeezing water on my head, like I was being baptized, right? It was like I was being baptized. But guess who I was being baptized by? Y'all let me know who I was being baptized by. And it wasn't Jesus, right? It wasn't Jesus. So y'all let me know who y'all think I was being baptized by. Let me know in the chat. Make some guesses. Make some guesses. All white. It was gold everywhere, and it was a ceremony, and I'm basically being cleansed. I'm being purged. They got sponges all on me, and I'm just like, it's like everybody is here for me. Everybody was there for me, and it was just magical. Who y'all think I was being bathed by? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know who y'all think it was. What energy, what deity y'all think it was? I told you right now it wasn't Jesus. Who you think it was? Nope, it wasn't my hubby. That's a good guess though, but it wasn't him. It wasn't him. Let's see who tapped into their intuition. Let's see who tapped into their intuition. Who y'all think it was? What deity? Y'all let me know on YouTube. On YouTube, y'all ain't making no guess. Somebody said Obatala. That makes sense. Somebody said Oshun. That makes sense, but it wasn't any of them. Nope, it wasn't Oshun. It was not Oshun. It wasn't Obatala. It wasn't my kids either. Even though that sounds great. That sounds great if it were the kids, if it were Oshun. I've had dreams of Oshun. But actually, y'all, it was Ganesha and Lakshmi. It was Ganesha and Lakshmi. Oh, look at Nicole remembering Afua. No, it wasn't Afua. It was Ganesha and Lakshmi, which are representations of the higher self, right? Understand, whenever you're seeing Jesus or Muhammad or the Buddha or Kuan Yin or any of these magical beings who have been revered, right? Who have been worshiped, who have been praised, whenever you're seeing any of that, understand that you are seeing a representation of your higher self. So I was being bathed by Lakshmi and Ganesha, and then there was hundreds of other people wearing white. I think that those hundreds of other people were also my ancestors and were also my spirit guides and my support team. And they were bathing me. And I just remember it was like I was a baby, but like in the most, y'all know, babies get taken care of. Let me not say all babies, but most babies, for the most part, get taken care of with the highest regard, with the highest love, right? With the greatest intentions and effort. And so I was being bathed by them. I was being bathed by them. I was being purified by them. And that is 222 over here. It just turned 223. Right? But so that to me has symbolized I was being purged and purified from some of those lower aspects, from some of those things that were keeping me from tapping in and tuning in to my higher self. Right? And so, being bathed by them symbolized removing some of those blockages. It symbolized, which is that Ganesha's energy. It symbolized being cleansed from some of those thoughts, from some of those emotions that were not in alignment with where I got to go. And then that Lakshmi energy, that abundant energy, that prosperous energy, that giving energy, that nurturing energy, it symbolized that I was being cleansed and I was ready and I was receptive to receive the bounties of being cleansed, cleared, and purified. Okay. So yeah, it was actually Lakshmi and Ganesha being cleansed and bathed by them. And when you have these dreams about spiritual ascension, you will never forget these dreams. You'll never forget them, right? You'll never forget them. You'll hold on to them because it's a message literally from your soul. It's literally a message from your higher soul. So that was one of the dreams that I had where I was literally cleansed and I was literally purified and I was literally, given the message of, okay, you're ready to move on to the next phase of your spirituality. You're ready to move on to the next phase of your being. You're ready to keep growing, keep evolving, and things are going to open up for you and you're receiving everything that you need. So that was one of those magical dreams. Have any of you ever had a dream similar to that? It doesn't have to be exactly like that. Have any of you ever had a dream to where you just feel that bliss, you feel that love, and you just know, okay, this is deeper than just seeing a message or anything like that. It's where you just know that you're being told something. Your soul, you understand that this is happening. You are being shown something that is happening at the soul level. The spiritual ascension dreams are the dreams where you are being shown something that is happening at the soul level. Okay? Have any of y'all ever had dreams like that? I've also had spiritual ascension dreams. Oh, she says, oh, yes, definitely. Yes, I want to know about it. Tell me what happened, Aquarian Goddess. Tell me what happened. And then for those of you who are on YouTube who have had those dreams, tell me what happened in your dream. It's magical. Another dream I remember having was the typical, probably I shouldn't say typical because people probably don't have these dreams, but it was a dream where I was literally just rising up. I was light, essentially. I was light, essentially, and I was just rising up, literally rising up through the earth into the cosmos and into this godly, what people may call heaven. So I've had a spiritual ascension dream like that as well. In that dream, it was a dream of spiritual ascension, but it was also kind of scary because I was leaving people behind, right? I was actually leaving people behind as I was doing that dream. Like as I'm floating up, as I'm floating up as a light being and I'm going through these dimensions, I'm looking down and I'm seeing family members and I'm seeing friends just, staying where they were. So that was, it was a spiritual ascension dream, but it was also kind of, there is another energy of kind of like sadness and things like that, because I know that as I'm growing and that as I'm expanding, there are some people who are going to get left behind. And so that was another dream, another message of spiritual ascension. All right. Here's a side note, and then I'm gonna get into the last dream, and then I'm gonna do a couple of readings for people. The last one thing you need to understand when it comes to your dreams is that you can become influenced. You can become influenced by what you observe right before your do I want to use this deck? You can become influenced based off of what you observe right before you go to bed. Okay, so if you are watching a movie or you're watching a show, you're watching, you're listening to something. Maybe you're listening to a podcast or you're watching a YouTube video. That can influence your dreams, and you can start seeing shit that you just saw in a movie. That has absolutely happened to me, and that is just a testament to how our minds is always picking up on stuff and actually holding on to stuff. So you got to be careful about what you're watching before you go to bed. That's why I be telling Dream, I don't want to watch no demon devil movies, right? Not saying that I'm scared, but I just don't want to watch that before I go to bed, because I know that my mind, my memory is so strong, is so intense that I will hold on to some of those things. And I literally, in my sleep or before I go to bed, I will literally have to do the work to filter that out of my being, so that when I go to sleep, I don't see the bullshit, right? So when I go to sleep, I don't see the bullshit. Aquarian goddess says, I was leaving to the store and ended up in a place like the Grand Canyon and was going to drive off a cliff. But the rock turned into a giant, and they picked up the car and set it to the side. And then the rock giants put Herkimer diamonds in my hand. I don't know what kind of diamonds those are, but it sounds great. Anything diamond sounds like it would be great. That's amazing, though. Rise on up. Rise on up, Rise on up. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Diamonds in your hand, baby. You shining, baby. You glistening, baby. And you know what? That could also be just also a sign or a testament to the fact that you've been under that pressure and now you've been refined. So it's still spiritual ascension. You have been made better. Your situations and your circumstances you've been able to extract the value from your situations and circumstances and transform into that diamond. So always, always, always remember that. Never forget who you are and everything that you've experienced that allows you to become who you are today, because all the things that you've experienced actually serves your highest good. Never forget that. Always remember that. It is the truth. It is the facts, okay? It's just the facts. It is absolutely just the facts, sis. Everything is always working out in your favor. The last dream that we're going to talk about before we get into these readings, we're going to do about 30 minutes of readings, right? I'm going to tell you right now, Patreon members and people who, send donations, and it's not mandatory, right? But I'm going to do readings for those people who do that first, just because to me that just makes sense as far as like reciprocation goes. But the last dream, family, is the ancestral dreams, when your ancestors come into your dream space. And sometimes if you have an ancestor that makes the transition that is like in a lower state, and when I say a lower state, I mean maybe they're thinking on a lower level or their feelings are on a lower level and they come through to you, a lot of times they're really needing help. And so when they come, sometimes it can be scary. Just this year, this was one of the very, very, very creepy, scary dreams that I had about an ancestor. And I'm typically, and here's the part for me when it comes down to ancestors. I always say, come in my dreams, right? Like, I don't want to see you like walk past me in the house, right? I don't want to see you standing in the corner in the room. Like, I don't want to do that, right? Because if I do that, I'm going to miss the message. Because I'm like, hold on. You're doing too much. That is not how I wanted to engage with you, right? So I literally create the space for my ancestors, and I literally tell them in my dream space, I'm here, I'm available for the conversation, for the support. Because understand this, spiritual people, sometimes your ancestors are coming through because they need you. Either they need you to deliver a message to somebody, they need to motivate you to do some work. They want you to know that they're still alive, they're still present. So a scary experience that I had that I'm gonna share with y'all is happened earlier this year. We lost our niece and nephew's mother, Dream's brother's baby mother. She made the transition. And, rising in power to her, rising in power to Mimi. But she's been through a lot. She's been through a lot of heartache, a lot of stress. She's had a lot of experiences. And so really her making the transition was her kind of in a sense escaping all of the traumas that she has experienced over her time. And that's the thing about life, family. There are some people who you'll be in a relationship with, that in this lifetime, they just don't have the capacity to rise above the challenges that they face. And so they choose to leave the body because it could be too heavy, right? It's too heavy. And they realize, okay, the weight of this world is just too much. I need to start all over. And so that's kind of what happened with Mimi on a spiritual sense. And so about a week, maybe even less than a week after she made the transition, she comes to me in the dream, and I knew it was her because in my dream, I'm at a high school. And I'm like, okay, why am I in this high school? I don't know this high school. I ain't dreamt of no high school. Why am I here? And then some way, somehow, I'm like locked in a high school and I can't get out. And some way, somehow, I end up in this room. And I see her. It's so crazy. I see her in the dream. And now when I see an ancestor, when I see somebody that has made the transition, I automatically know, okay, there's a message that's about to come through that I have to transcribe, that I have to work through, that I have to process. There's something that needs to be done spiritually for that ancestor, or it can be something for their family members. So she comes into the room. I'm like, okay, Mimi. And I'm literally talking to her like this, right? But it's telepathic. My mouth is not moving because I'm dreaming. I don't know, but it's telepathic. And I'm like, okay, Mimi, what do you need? Next thing you know, my mouth just kind of, actually, next thing you know, what happens is like my body, she actually like came into my body. Let's just say that. She came into my body and she's kind of like animating me. And I told her, I'm like, oh, hell no. I had to tell her straight up. I said, we're not doing that. That's not how this works. So basically, she needed my help for her to realize that she made the transition. As a spirit, as a soul, she hadn't really understood and really made peace with the fact that she's made the transition, that she has to separate from the body. And so she had integrated me. She had came inside of me and was like trying to talk to me and trying to get me to understand what she was communicating, right? Because she was stuck. That's what it was. She was stuck in a certain realm, in a certain space, that high school, right? Understand this, family. There are some people that you deal with. It don't matter how old they are. It don't matter that they got kids. It don't matter none of that. People get stuck spiritually at a certain time and a certain age in their life. Not everybody, just because somebody grows in age doesn't mean that they grow in spirit. It doesn't mean that they grow in their mental and their emotional. So she was stuck essentially in this high school and she didn't know how to navigate being outside of the body. And so she came to me and was like, what do I do? I'm not animating anything anymore. I'm not animating this physical, I'm not animating a physical body anymore. So I had to tell her, first of all, sis, not me. I had to gather her up real quick, like in the dream space. I had to get her together. But after that, I became very intentional. I went out, I made her an ancestor altar, and I just talked to her. I had to talk to her spiritually and just be like, okay, this is what it is. You got to move on. You got to do this. And I had to help her, in a sense, understand that her making a transition was a gift that she had given to herself. because she needed to start over. She needed to choose herself in this moment, right? Because that's the hardest thing, is for a mother to have to leave her children for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason, that's one of the hardest things, for a mother to have to leave her children. But she has self-sacrificed so much for her children that she totally forgot about herself. So her making the transition was her deciding, okay, I'm going to choose me. It's hard. My children are going to have to figure it out. Their father is going to have to figure it out, but I got to choose me. And so I told her, you made the transition, and I'm telling her all of this in spirit, but you made the transition because you had to choose you. You couldn't keep doing what you've been doing. You have to move on, grow and evolve and try it again. And so, sometimes that can happen. Understand, sometimes they can leave the body and not really understand what is actually going on. I've had dreams. One of my favorite ancestral dreams was my great grandmother, the goddess Khadijah, right? The goddess Khadijah Samdi. First of all, she goes by Khadijah Samdi, so she understands the underworld, because we know Baron Samdi is the god that he is, right? So she understands the underworld, right? And mind you, this happened a few years ago. Maybe I had this dream. I believe I had this dream in like 2016, 2017 or something. My great grandmother made the transition in 2012. And so I'm with Khadijah in the dream, and me and Khadijah are walking around like a city, and we go underground. Automatically, underground, subconscious mind, you're going into a realm. So we go underground, and I go into this room, and it's a damn party going on. And the lights in the room are all green. And it's so spiritual because we have a light in our house now that is green. And I'm throwing a party on my birthday at our house, and we're going to be partying in green, right? We're going to be partying in green, because what essentially we're doing is we're partying in love. We're partying in that heart chakra. So I'm in this world. Khadijah done guided me under here. And it's all of these people, and they're partying under a green light, right? It's like, it's a green light, and it's a green room, and everybody is partying. And I find myself just walking around. Khadijah done disappeared somewhere. I'm just walking around, and I come upon my great grandmother, my big mama. And she's sitting in a chair looking like a goddess, looking bossy, looking beautiful, not looking like the sweet little old lady that I knew when she made the transition. She was looking like a goddess in this realm. And she just sat back in this party. It's green, everybody dancing all around her. She got a big afro. And I just knew what I was seeing was her just saying, baby, do what you love. Party it up in this life. Have fun. Open your heart. Be free. And that was the message that she was actually giving me. So in the dreams, you can connect with the ancestor. Another dream. And so that dream was for me. Right? I'm telling y'all the multiple ways they come. That dream was a message that my great grandmother was giving me. And she gives me multiple messages like that. She done even came to me one time and said, tell your grandma, her daughter, tell your grandma to do this, 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 and this. And I got to call grandma and be like, grandma, big mama came to me in my dream and she said this, 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 and this. And my grandma be like, what? I'm like, yeah, your mama came to me in my dreams and she told me to tell you. They be freaking out a little bit. But then they be like, all right, I hear you. I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing with y'all. Big mama coming in these dreams, she talking to me. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm going to tell y'all whatever she tells me. So she comes and she gives me messages for the dream with my sister-in-law, basically. Mimi, she needed my help. And then another one is my best friend, Mimi. There's two Mimis. But one of my best friends, Mimi, M-E-M-E, her brother made the transition at the end of 2021. Very hard loss. I was in shock. He was 40s, in his 40s. Very shocked by that. But a little while after he died, he came in my dream. And he literally just straight up tells me, he said, tell them I'm okay. Tell them I'm good. Tell them I love them. Tell them I'm with them, because I got two best friends, right? My best friend, Mimi, it was her older brother. And then one of my best friends, Eva, it's her cousin because they're cousins. And so in the dream, he's talking to me and he's like, tell them this. Literally, tell them that I'm good. Tell them that I love them. Tell them I've made peace. Tell them to be happy. Tell them I don't want them being sad. You know, he literally tells me this. And so I actually ended up texting them because he came through in my dream. I want to say probably like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I ended up texting them right in the spot because I was like, I don't want to forget this. Let me let them know right now. So I text them that, sent that message out in the middle of the night. And then my best friend Mimi called me the next day and was like, girl, she said everything that you said was so spot on, because he came and told me the same exact thing. And I was like, yeah, you know. And so that's when my best friend Mimi was like, damn, you actually tapped in. I was like, yeah, y'all think I be on, you know, sometimes your friends and your family, they think you just be talking shit, right? You just on Instagram, or you just on YouTube, or you just doing this spiritual thing because it's cool or whatever. But this is really life. This is really who I am, right? And so, you know, when I told her that, she was just like, wow, that's amazing. You really are tapped in. And she was like, thank you so much, D. I'm taking that. And she's been great, right? Like her heart has healed so much. And that doesn't mean that she doesn't grieve him sometimes. But my friend Mimi is so resilient. And, you know, her mind is so strong, and she's such a powerful being. And so when I told her that, she was just like, ain't nothing stopping me, right? Because a lot of times when people grieve, you know, life stops, everything stops. It's all just, you know, the hurt and pain can be so heavy. And I understand that. And so it was a gift. It was a gift to be able to give that to her and let her know that her brother has made peace with his transition. And literally, he was in the room with me, and I literally seen him. And this was so deep. He said what he said to me. Then he walked out. He literally opened the door, walked out, closed the door behind him. So that to me was the message saying, okay, he's actually moving on. He's actually moving on. So those are the dreams, right? If you're just now getting in here, this is a video that you're going to have to listen back to because it's deep, right? So you got your prophetic dreams, you got your past life dreams, you have your spiritual lessons dreams, you got your healing dreams, you got spiritual ascension dreams. Sometimes you have dreams based off of what you just consumed consciously, whether it's a movie, a show, you know, a podcast, whatever. You have that. And then you also have those ancestral dreams. Those are, I mean, family. I just gave you a lot of information on how these dreams be coming through. And I want you to pay attention to it because it's literally a message. Your dreams are literally a gift for you. They're a gift for you. And so you got to listen to them. You got to understand them. And you have to utilize the wisdom that your dreams are actually giving you. Now, let me see what Cosmic Chlorophyll Phil said. And then let me know in the chat if you would like a reading. Again, those of you who donate, I'll get to you first. Or if you're like a Patreon member, you know I'm going to look out. Or a Sacred Sister Circle or Womb Alchemy, whatever. Just drop a chat if you want. Drop a me, I want one in the chat. And we will tap in. Let's see what Cosmic Chlorophyll said, because sis always be coming through with something. She says, they come in the dream too, but my grandmother came, sat on my bed a month or so ago, and I was so in shock and amazed. I couldn't be scared. I can't remember what she said. Oh, it doesn't. And you know what? Sometimes if you don't remember what they said, you know what? Shania, you can donate via Cash App. That's a great way, only because I say that because YouTube, honey, y'all was leaving donations last time, baby, and I don't know where them donations at. You know, they somewhere. It's somewhere. It'll come to me full circle. I appreciate it. I just dropped in the chat what my Cash App is. On Instagram, if you want to donate, you know, Cash App is available to y'all too as a link in my bio. You'll see it. Click the link tree and you'll see that. Yeah, so even if you don't remember what your ancestors say in your dream, your subconscious mind knows. So that's a very big deal. That's something very big to understand. Your subconscious mind knows. Your spirit knows, okay? And when the time is right, you'll remember and you'll get it, right? So a lot of the times, it may not be something that you are absolutely consciously aware of. It may not be something that you can actually make kind of 1+1. Shanae, okay, gotcha, Shanae. I do have PayPal. It's in the description as well. I do have PayPal, and it's in the description as well. Divine elevation. I'm gonna do Sarah. I'm gonna go ahead and do Sarah because Sarah left a donation for the birthday. So I'm gonna get you, sis. Sarah said, me. Divine elevation meditation says Patreon gang gang. Yes, Patreon gang gang. I love it. And I'm also going to be answering some questions. So if y'all ask questions, I got you with that as well. Everything you need to know about donating and giving and gifting is in the description of my page. From PayPal me, Relationship Alchemy, from Cash App, all of that good stuff. And again, give from your heart. It's not that, it's not that serious. It's just, an exchange of energy. Can you be tired after having a dream? Absolutely. And that when you are tired, when you're having a dream, understand that a lot of times that's because you're actually doing real heavy spiritual work, right? You're actually doing real heavy spiritual work. And I don't think that people be understanding that. Or you could be tired, in a dream because you've been getting it in as far as, you're let me mute this because I don't. Or you be tired because, like I said, your spirit is just so active in the dream space, right? Your spirit is just so active in the dream space, so that could be very taxing, right? That could be very taxing. So you gotta understand that's going to happen. Danielle Scented Life says, I had a dream 3 weeks. I had 3 dreams with a week. The first dream was about a spider, second was a snake, and the third was an alligator. Girl, so what we're talking about in your dream, that's so interesting. What we're talking about in your dream, Danielle Scented Life, we are talking about the lower realms, right? And I don't mean not the lower realms like in a scary sense. What we're talking about is like the underworld, like the shadow self. You got to research some of those deities, right? Because there are deities that align with the spider, the snake, the alligator, right? These are animals that are kind of low to the ground. Think about a snake. A snake, is on the ground. A spider is on the ground. An alligator is on the ground. So those are those types of animals. So maybe for you, you are being asked to really reflect on, some of the things that you are keeping under wraps, maybe some of the things that you aren't really acknowledging yet. You got to ask yourself if that is what is actually happening within you. Very, very powerful stuff. I know when I had a dream about an alligator, I knew that I was dreaming about the underworld and me going into some of those deep places within the subconscious mind. So we're talking about the subconscious mind, right? That's what we're talking about. Let me put this stuff in the description because I don't want y'all to be able to have access to this stuff. Hold on. And here's the thing. People who want readings already have it in your mind, already have it in your heart as to what it is that you want to talk about or the area of your life that you are wanting answers, because you need to do that so that your higher self can actually channel to me what it is that you're needing. All right, don't be all everywhere in your mind. Have something on your heart and on your mind that you are actually curious about at this time. All right, have something on your mind and on your heart that you are actually curious about at this time, right? We don't want to just be like, oh, I want to read and just for the fun of it. No, I want to help you. Okay, I want to help you. And in order for me to help you, I want you to have something that is, on your heart, something that is, something that you want to know more about. It could be a dream that you had last night, whatever the situation may be. All right, whatever the situation may be. All right, we got that, family? Let me know. Let me know if we got that. Let me know. I really don't even know how to work this real quick. All good. All good. All good. All right, let's see where we at. Let's see where we at. Let's go with Sarah, and then we're gonna work our way back up. We're gonna go with Sarah. And shout out to the sister Lana. I know you're gonna see this later, Lana. Lana been sending me donations on a weekly basis. I'm like, you really are loving me right now. I appreciate that. That's love. You know, that's love. She's sending me donations on Cash App, and it's random. It's just random. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Thank you. You know, it's just a what it is it's not about money, but it's literally me being like, wow, somebody is really enjoying what I'm talking about. Okay, I guess I'm not just talking for no reason. Somebody is actually really learning and growing, you know, from the information. So that's always such a gift. Sarah, thank you for that. But I'm still coming for you with the let's go with Sarah, who is, you know, who came through with the coffee for the birthday gift. The Sun card. Sarah, you're being asked right now to let your light shine and understand that you need to tap deeper into your desires. Sarah, are you pursuing your desires? Are you pursuing that internal sun? Are you out of balance? Let me ask you that question right now, because your spirit is like, maybe you are focused on something right now that is not in alignment with that internal fire and desire, right? Sarah, so right now, it is time for you. Right now, sis, it is really time for you to determine what is your internal light, right? See, even you being on here and you gifting me right now, what I'm doing right now is an expression of my internal sun. It's an expression of my solar plexus. And so I want you to ask yourself, what the hell am I passionate about? What am I passionate about? What do I love? What do I enjoy? What is my higher self calling me to do? That's real talk. You know what I mean? And so you got to be real with yourself about that, Sarah. Ask yourself, am I in balance right now? Or am I just working, taking care of kids, taking care of family? What are you doing for yourself, Sarah? How are you nurturing yourself right now? Okay. Really, really, really deep question. You got to ask yourself, what is in my heart for me to do? Listen, you have to do this, right? You absolutely have to do this. You have to determine this, Sarah, because you don't want to go through life and be dissatisfied and lack pleasure because you didn't figure out what light you have been called to shine. See, I'm shining the spiritual light, the healing light, to give this wisdom, to give this love, and you have something that you're supposed to be doing. So my question to you is, in what ways are you supposed to shine? See, when I see the sun card, think about the sun. The sun is always shining. It is through the sun that our plants grow, right? It is through the sun that I love that too, babe. The Christ consciousness for real. The Christ consciousness for real. You have a mission. A part of that Christ consciousness is you following your purpose and you doing the things that you've been called to do. And so what you have to do to restore balance in your life right now, Sarah, is you have to take a step. Because at the end of the day, you know what that thing is. It don't got to be my thing. It don't got to be my thing. It don't got to be anybody else's thing. It can be unique to you. It may be cooking. It may be creating. It may be, and what I'm hearing, Sarah, is that you need to be doing something with your hands. You need to be putting forth love and energy through the power of your hands. Something with your hands. Either it's cooking or it's making like body products or something like that. So Spirit is like, create, create, create. Spend some time creating. Right? Because one thing about the sun gives, the sun shines its light. You also need to work with a citrine crystal. Look at this beautiful baby. DreamWise picked this out. and we leave it on this desk where we do our work at, letting our light shine. So you can put a citrine crystal on your solar plexus, right? On your inner sun. The solar plexus is your inner sun, right? And the reason why you forget about yourself is because that's how you were taught to live. You observed your mother never really nurture herself, give to herself, love on herself. And so that's the way you think. That's what you think it means to be a woman. Forget about you. You're not important. So Spirit is like, you need to restore balance. You need to look into your heart and really determine what is in your heart for you to do. What is in your heart for you to be? What should you be putting your love, your energy, and your effort into at this space and time right now? All right. Gift that to yourself. Gift that to yourself. You deserve that. You are worthy of that. Okay. So I love that you are here and you're always soaking up knowledge and you're always soaking up wisdom and you are always present, because I see your name all the time and I love that. So that is one way that you're loving on yourself and nurturing yourself. But Spirit is like, what else are you supposed to be doing that you're not? All right. And when we're not doing those things, this is when we don't feel satisfied. Right? We don't feel satisfied. We don't feel content with life. All right. We don't feel content with life. So you got to ask yourself, how can I live a more full life? How can I live a more balanced life? How can I nourish my sun? How do I let my sun shine? How do I let my internal sun shine? What am I supposed to be doing? And girl, listen, it can start off with your community. It starts off in your household. It starts off in your household. All right. All right. That's where it starts off at. All right. Figure out how you let your internal light shine by you tapping and tuning deeper into you, your sacred self. Okay. Love that. Thank you so much for the donation from earlier and the one you just sent. I love that. I appreciate that. And I hope that message connects with you on a very, very deep level. Get to creating and watch. Here's the thing, family. When you start creating and you start pursuing that passion and you start pursuing that purpose, honey, this is when your life changes. When you start doing the thing that you love, this is when life really opens up for you. Right? It really is. So all you got to do is take that first step. Just take that first step. Take that first step and create. And then the following steps will come about. Know, Sarah, that you are worthy enough of that. You're good enough to do what it is that you love. Your value is not based off of how you can serve other people. Your value is based off of how you serve yourself, how you love yourself, how you nurture yourself. And then everybody else receives the fruit of that labor. Everybody else receives the fruit of that labor. So please, please, please understand that. Let that sit in your heart. Make peace with that. Move forward with that. All right. If y'all are Patreon members, listen, and you got a name on here that I don't know, Self-Care Boss, it's going to be confusing. It's going to be confusing. But I'm definitely going to address our Patreon family because, that's a gift. What you mean, Sarah? That's just how I'm feeling. Go deeper. Let me know what you mean by that's just how I'm feeling. What you mean? What you mean that's just how you feeling? Okay. Yeah, let me know. I wanna know what you mean by that. All right, let's clear these cards and get back into the realms. Get back into it. We're gonna go with Shanae. Shanae, I received your donation on PayPal. Shout out to you. We're gonna go with Shanae. And then, like I said, Patreon family, if you're in Patreon, put your name so I know who you are. Because all of these, disguise names, hell, I don't know who is who. And then on Instagram, family, I see y'all too. I see y'all here too. I would recommend coming to YouTube because it's just easier that way. If you want to send a donation, there is a link in my description in the bio on Instagram. There is a link there if you want to send a donation to guarantee that I will pull one of these cards for you. It's a link there that says Cash App or Love Offerings. You can do that. Just because I'm gonna do it based off of the exchange of value. We got some Patreon family members here, and you always want to move in balance. But Shanae, let's see what Shanae got going on. Shanae, let's see what Spirit is talking about for you. Shanae, you've probably been thinking about business or something recently, entrepreneurship or something like that. Yes, you're thinking about the Law 44 just came out. Let's see. The 44, the 8. Shanae, what you put in, you get out. What are you putting into your heart? What are you holding on to in your heart? Danielle sent it live. You usually on YouTube, but you was scrolling IG. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Either way, I am glad you are here. Shanae, what you've been putting into your heart, because whatever you're putting into your heart, that is what you are birthing and that is what you are creating. So you're being asked right now, Shanae, to reflect on what you are putting into your heart. So let me ask you, what are you observing? What are you allowing to really affect your emotional state of being? Okay? Because you need to be putting in love, unconditional love. You need to be putting in forgiveness. You need to be putting in that love, that value, that worthiness. You need to be putting all of that energy into your heart, and that's what you will actually create, right? You need to be getting into some heart chakra work. It's like, girl, it's okay. It's you are wanting to figure out your relationship life. You're wanting to figure out your relationship life. I don't know if you're feeling like your business or your work or your job or somebody's job or something is standing in the way of you fully embodying and embracing that love. But you need to understand that no job, no business, no human stuff should be standing in the way of love and you having an open heart that is ready and willing to receive and give love. Okay? When you understand that love encompasses all, when you understand that love heals all, this is when you tap into a deeper level of being, right? Yeah, and so Shanae, what's up, Will Caprew? Uncle Willie's son, what's up, Uncle Willie? Yeah, you're in a deep level of healing. So let me ask you this, Shanae, what is on your heart? Do you feel, let me ask you this, do you feel capable of truly loving and receiving love? Maybe that's something for you to really look at and reflect upon, because I know you want that. I know you want that. I know that is a desire for you. And it doesn't matter whether you are in a relationship or not. Sometimes we be in relationships and our heart is still blocked, or our heart is still hard for whatever reason. Right? Maybe, Shanae, you grew up with a family member, a mother or a father who put their job, who put their work, or who put things outside of themselves before loving, nurturing, and caring for you. And this could be something, an idea or a state of being that you are carrying into this lifetime, right? It's something that you're carrying or that is blocking your heart from truly being able to open up and experience love. So you also have to understand that your parents or whoever your guardians were, people only do, if people knew better, they do better. And so a part of your healing is going to be forgiving their ignorance, right? A part of healing is going to be forgiving their ignorance and understand that a person could be prosperous and abundant and still have good, healthy love within their lives. So I want you to continue to fill yourself up with that understanding. Continue to fill yourself up with that spirit and with that energy that you are worthy and that it is possible for you to experience healthy love and abundance. It is possible for you to live a full life. All right. It is possible for you to live a full life. And then, you sent that 222, which is the 6, which is the heart, which is the earth, which is balancing masculine and feminine energy. Right? You said, I've had to learn as of lately, I can't dim the way that I love and pour out based off how I'm treated. Yep, total forgiveness. That's such a big deal. We will limit the way that we show love because we feel like, we feel like somebody else has to do it the same exact way. And that's just unrealistic, because at the end of the day, here's the truth. The truth is that everybody gives love and receives love differently. And one of the biggest gifts in relationships is understanding how a person gives and receives love. And then doing what you need to do to find the internal balance in giving and receiving love within that relationship based off of a person's love language. A lot of times people be thinking that love language stuff is just like, whatever, that stuff doesn't matter. Yes, it does. That love language stuff matters a lot. And actually, Dream and I are going to be going live on Patreon soon, talking about love and relationships, because we have been having some major breakthroughs within our relationship and, within our conversations about the reality of what relationships really is. And shit, you think you've been knowing about love and relationships? Honey, man, listen, Dream and I have been together at this point for 8 years. And we're still going, and we're still going, and we're still going, and we're still growing, still learning, right? Reaching higher levels of vulnerability and openness and honesty. And so it just keeps getting deeper. It just keeps getting deeper. The realizations keep getting deeper. And so we got to really understand that love is more than just, what has been presented to us through media, through these stories and through these observations of our parents. Yeah, we have no idea the depth and the spiritual aspect of relationships. But understand, sis, that you are totally worthy and capable of healthy, balanced love. And the way that you give it and the way that you receive it in your relationships, we need to be able to communicate that. You need to be able to communicate what it is that you desire. Okay? And you got to be honest, because sometimes in relationships, people want us to be a certain way that we may not know how to be. You may not know how to be that. So the real question is the person you're in a relationship with, are they going to have enough patience? Are they going to have enough unconditional love and presence for y'all to grow and understand how you manage your desires as spiritual beings having a human experience? Right? That's a very, very real question and understanding to have. And I think it's something that can be had, because I have it. And so I know that it's possible for people to also have it, but you got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to get honest. You got to be willing to get real naked. And I'm talking about naked where you showing all your scars, all your bruises, all them traumas, all them hurts, the shit that you don't even want to say. The shit to where you like, if I say this, how is this going to be received? If I say this, how could this really affect our relationship? But if you want that growth, you got to be willing to take that risk. You got to be willing to take that risk in love and relationships. Very, very powerful thing. Very, very powerful thing. Let's see who's up next. Let's see who's up next. You better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are. Don't let up. Because man, y'all better go listen to that Sarah, because that's a channel. I tell y'all all the time, when music just randomly pops into my head, literally spirit is communicating to me. So I don't know who that song is for. Maybe for all of us. You better shine on them, baby, you a star. You better be exactly who you are. Yeah, that's a whole download. Okay, that's a whole download. Shine, shine, shine. Be exactly who you are. Because you so damn fine just the way you are. Let's go to Nicole. Again, Patreon members, Patreon members, you know, donations and things like that. That's what I'm gonna do first, and then just depending on the time, depending on the energy. But you gotta still be here. Nicole, let me know in the chat if you're here, Nicole. Let me know in the chat if you're here, sis. You were the first Patreon member that I seen. Ooh. Okay, Nicole. I'm gonna hope that you're still here. And then we'll come over here and look at Instagram. Nicole, let me know in the chat if you're still here. I had a dream. This was about a friend whom transitioned. He came as a sense of protection, real heavy messages and energy. Things in my marriage hit the fan, and then his presence. Since then, I've been getting back to me. Wow. So so I really want you to listen back, Shanae, to what was just said. You know, I want you to really, because what was just said was a lot. And for you to bring up your marriage, that says that we are directly in alignment with the reading that just came out, with something going on within your relationship, within finances, and giving and receiving love. So I would say listen back. Because there's codes, right? I can only speak about what's actually coming through, but sometimes you have to be able to decode what is being said. The same way in the dreams, you got to decode what's being said. Nicole, listen, Spirit is really communicating to you right now. And you have to understand that it is through your intuition. It is through you following that divine feminine energy, Nicole, that you tap into Spirit, and that you also tap into your abundance, right? You've been thinking about your abundance. You've been thinking about business. You've been thinking about how do you grow into wealth and well-being. And Spirit is like, lean more into the intuitive feminine aspect. Stop thinking about this stuff logically. Logically is not necessarily always the answer. You need divine balance. Be that feminine energy. I know your husband. Allow your husband to be that divine masculine energy, and y'all really work that out. Now, of course, men and women have both masculine and feminine energies within them, but there has to be a sacred balance in order to create and manifest. And you have to accept your role as that divine feminine essence. Nicole, Spirit is saying, stop always doing. Spirit is like, lean back into that feminine energy. Trust that internal knowing, right? Sometimes you need to learn to go with the flow. Sometimes you need to just become the abundant business owner, the prosperous woman. Just become that. You need to ask yourself, how does she think? How does she feel? How does she act? I want you to see yourself as abundant already, prosperous already. I want you to see that already done, Nicole. I want you to see, how does she walk? How does she talk? How does she think? How does she move in life? And then when you wake up every day, I want you to challenge yourself to walk that path. That is the essence of feminine energy in manifesting. Feminine energy in manifesting is about becoming and being that thing. And then, of course, you know, it's really like this. You got to be about 80% feminine and about 20% masculine. So you got to ask yourself, how are you moving forward in this thing? Right? Like the 20% of masculine energy is you sitting down and you doing the work when you got to do the work, right? When you got to create, when you got to post, when you got to reach out to these people. That's the masculine energy, when you got to do those things. But all of that stems first from your divine feminine energy. So you got to sit down a little bit more, Nicole. And when I say sit down, I mean you got to be quiet a little bit more. Because what that is going to allow you to do is tune more into that intuitive voice so that you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Okay? And that door is wide open, you know, and the communication is actually happening and you are receiving the downloads, but it's like you want to act on them so fast, and Spirit is like, hold on, sit with it a little bit more, simmer with it a little bit more. Ask yourself, how does it feel, right? Because the card that came out for you is a woman with a coin. This means getting to your bag, utilizing your divine feminine energy. So yes, you got to let go and let God. You got to let go and let God. All right. That's that divine feminine energy. That divine masculine energy is like, what I got to do? What do I got to do? What action do I have to take? Let me fix my seat, y'all. I got to sit up a little bit more. It's like, what action do I have to take? Right? What action do I have to take? All right, seat, you really tripping. That's okay. My seat tripping, y'all. I got to sit up higher. Boom. All right? Do we understand? Ashe, you said Ashe, that means you get it. That means you receive it. That means it's in alignment. Yes, yes. I'm going to come over here on, I know for sure, let me see. Looking for Patreon members first. I got about 10 more minutes to give to y'all. Somebody over here, Nicola's Abundance over here on Instagram says, that message must have been for all Nicoles. She said the energy these past few days has been heavy, and this energy was for me too, except I'm a single mom right now. But everything else, finding the balance of masculine and feminine energy as a solo. Yes, ma'am. You have that energy and you have to find that balance. You have to find that balance too. I'm glad that resonates. Listen, I did the womb alchemy workshop the other day, last week, Saturday. Powerful. And it was all about the divine masculine and divine feminine energy balance. So I have not blocked that video yet. So if you are a part of my community, right, like you've signed up via email or something like that, or you got the womb prayer, or you signed up for the workshop, you should have received the email with that link in it. If you have not seen that workshop that I did, I would go back and listen to that. Any woman that is dealing with balancing out their masculine and feminine energy, I would absolutely go back and listen to that. Athelia says, what if you're an open book, but your partner isn't? So first of all, we have to learn how to create a safe space. And I think you may be feeling like you're doing that by you being vulnerable. This is just real. Really? Instagram over here tripping. I see you. I'm coming to you right now, actually. Dark Star Goddess. I'm coming to you right now. Coming to you right now with the reading. But Athelia, you have to ask yourself, have you created a safe space for vulnerability? At the end of the day, you can only control what you do. You cannot control what anybody else does. You cannot control how your partner shows up, what they share, what they don't share. You have absolutely no control over that, and you cannot change them. What you can do is change yourself and create a safe space. So what that means is you want to make sure that you have an energy that is of presence. You want to make sure that you have an energy that is not judgmental. You want to make sure that you have an energy that says, I am open to listen and receive, and not, condemn and do all of those things, right? That's the only thing that you can really do. And when you have a partner that is not open and that is not vulnerable, it can be challenging for the relationship because you don't know how they really feel, what they think, and what they really got going on. So you have to ask this person, how do you show love? How do you receive love? When you are upset, what does that look like? When you are happy, what does that look like? You can really ask these questions. I know some of y'all may be thinking, well, that sounds kind of corny. That sounds kind of like a whack question. Like, why would I be asking that? Well, you need to know. So, Athelia, I would encourage you to learn some powerful questions and communicate in a way that says, this is a safe space. This is a place where you can be who you are. I would absolutely do that. And, a gift that I would give you as well when it comes down to communication in your relationship, which is something I have to keep working on and continue being conscious of, and that is compliment before you criticize. So whenever you are talking to when East Tea Tree, I'm gonna get on you, right? So whenever you are talking to your partner or your children or anybody that you love, you want to make sure that you compliment before you criticize. So give a word of encouragement first. Give love first. Let them know that you see something that they did great. Let them know that you appreciate them, that you value them before you say, you ain't did this, you ain't did that. You don't be opening up. You don't be talk like before you start going ham. Make sure you give that compliment first. That is what's going to allow a person to open up, be vulnerable, be real, be truthful, and let you see into them. So absolutely do that. All right. All right, Dark Star Goddess, what is the energy for you today? Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Listen, yeah, if you're not a Patreon member, or you know, you don't donate, I don't know the order that we will be actually going in. So you got to be patient. Ooh. Oh, I'm putting it over here. Yeah, Dark Star Goddess. Look. Appreciation, honey. Let me tell you something that just straight came to mind. I got to tell you, I got to be real. You got to stop complaining. You got to stop complaining. You have to pay attention to your mind and how you may place judgments on certain situations, right? You may be placing judgment on certain situations and you're missing the gift, right? You're missing the gift of certain situations and circumstances that are manifesting in your life. And that's something that you got to stop. You literally have to figure out how to find the blessing in all of your experiences. In all of your experiences, figure out how to find the blessing, figure out how to have appreciation in it, because that is how you actually grow. That is how you actually grow. That is how you actually expand. That is how you actually start to create things that you desire. If you are complaining, baby, you are blocking your blessings. You are calling for more. Your spirit, your higher self is like, I know that you want more. I hear that you want more, and I want to give you more. I want to provide that for you. Right? It's like, I hear you. I want to provide that for you. I want to give that to you, but you have to start tapping into gratitude. All right? You got to tap into gratitude and appreciation, because if you don't have that in your heart for your life and all of your situations and circumstances, it's not going to come through. The desires that you want, the reason why you may be feeling blocked is because you like, what? Like, you're like, oh, no, that ain't really what I wanted, or that ain't really what it is. And you're missing your opportunity. You're missing it, okay? And it's the only reason why your blessings are passing you by is because you're not having gratitude, okay? It's because you're not having gratitude. So I want you to lean more into your gratitude bag, lean more into your appreciation bag, and discipline yourself. Girl, oh, here's a technique. Here's a good technique for you. Right? Here's a good technique for all of y'all. Dream, I know you're watching this video, and I know we need to go pick up our kiddo. We need to go pick up our kiddo from school, right? Babe, you can bring me Kimmy real quick. I want to finish these Patreon members, and then I'm gonna be getting off of here. So if you can bring me Kimmy if you want, babe. I know you're on here. So what I want y'all to here's a technique for building more abundance and having gratitude. Here's a quick technique. If you see a penny on the floor, if you see a dime on the floor, if you see a quarter on the floor, if you see $1 on the floor, it doesn't matter what money it is, stop just walking over it. You know, some of y'all see pennies and dimes on the floor and you're just like, I ain't about to pick up that penny. It ain't worth nothing. And you are blocking off your blessing when you do that. So when you see that penny on the floor, instead of just, walking over it and thinking like, oh, this ain't nothing, at the end of the day, that penny is still a form of money. And when you just walk over it like that, you are basically canceling out your desire for money, or you're canceling out being open and receptive to money. So when you see that penny over on the floor, instead of walking over it, why don't you bend down and pick it up and say, thank you. Thank you, abundance. I see you coming to me. Thank you, abundance. I receive you. Let's do that. Do we understand? Thank you, abundance. I see you. I receive you. It doesn't matter that it's just a penny. A penny is still technically money. And when you're walking over it like that and you're not respecting it and you're thinking like, oh, this is just nothing. Whenever you're doing that, you're sending a message. The Bible says, in order for you to have dominion over the many, you have to have dominion over the little. And so that penny that you're walking over, you're not having dominion over, you're not having gratitude for it, but you think that, you're open and receptive and available to receive a big storm of money, right? You thinking that you ready to receive all of this money, but baby, you walking over that little penny and you're not appreciating that money. So I want y'all to take that into consideration. You see a penny, a nickel, a dime, anything like that on the floor, stop and pick it up, say thank you. And you know what I do? What I've done for it, is I would, when I pick up pennies and dimes, I give it a meaning, right? When I was picking up dimes off the floor, I was like, oh, that's one of my ancestors, right? That was one of my ancestors coming through and communicating with me. Whenever I would see a dime, whenever I saw a dime, I'm like, oh, okay, that's my ancestor. Real quick, mahogany, who is just surprising me. How you mahogany the whole time and I didn't even know it? Hey, Stinky, you just woke up from a nap? Dream, say hey, babe.
What's up, y'all?
You need a white. You ain't gonna let us see your face?
Oh, shit.
Your nose needs to be white.
Camera you on?
There you go, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get KJ real quick.
Yeah, you should have brought me a white for this nose. Tell Cara bring me a white.
All right.
Say hey, Kimmy. Y'all getting the real gift today. Excuse her nose. Say hey, baby. You just woke up from a nap. You see, she said hey to y'all. Hey, baby, give me a kiss. Oh, give me some. I'm gonna get off here soon, clearly, because I got the baby. But mahogany, heart chakra work, forgiveness work. That is something that you are being called and asked to do right now, sis. You're being asked to forgive. You're being asked to let go. You're being asked to love deeper. Love deeper. Allow yourself to love. Y'all know Kimmy actually looks just like me when I was a baby. She just woke up from a nap. You said hey? She got a little bit of a snotty nose. Y'all know right when we walk into the fall season, the snotty noses start to come. Ooh, baby breath is the best smelling breath. I just love it. All right. So that's that. Heart chakra mahogany. You already know what to do. Type in heart chakra work on Patreon, and that'll be that. Listen, I got my girls coming through. So I'm about to hop off of here because they thank you for letting me wipe that. Because they coming through now, and it's just gonna be chaos. But I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And like I said, every Friday, I'm gonna give y'all a message and then do readings. So if you did not get a reading this time, you'll get one another time. Come prepared with your donation or something like that, so that I make sure that I get one done for you, because I want to give that to you. I want to give that to you. Okay. Somebody said dreams about spiders. I will look into ancestors. Our great teacher Bobby Hemmett said when you dream about a spider, or when you're dealing with spiders and spider webs, a lot of times we're talking about our ancestors. So look into that. Look at the app Dream Moods and get some information off of there as well. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And you know what? Also look into your spidey senses. Look into your spidey senses. What are you, what gifts, what talents, what supernatural things are you supposed to be tapping into? I'm going to do one more, pull one more of these cards for Anne Harshaw. Yeah, you going to pick one? You going to pick one? Anne, I know a lot's been on your mind, Anne. A lot has been on your mind right now. So make sure you tap into your meditation practice, right? Make sure you tap into your meditation practice and be open to receive some wisdom, some knowledge, some information from some of the masculine energy. Really? That was a big old yawn. You a grown up, all right? Masculine energy, and balance out your masculine energy. Stop overthinking so much. Gain some wisdom and insight from some of the men who are in your life. That's my time, family. Let me get off of here. I got to be on mommy duty and all of that good stuff. And I will see y'all on Wednesday. And then next Friday is your girl's birthday. I still plan on showing up here and having these powerful conversations with y'all. We'll be talking soon. Peace. Let me know in the comments which one of these things today really resonated with y'all. Love you. Bye-bye.